You know what absolutely pisses me off? We sit around complaining about stress, burnout, stuck businesses, as if it's some external force, some mysterious something that just happened to us. My business is stuck. My team is demotivated. I'm burning out. My anxiety is rising. What do I do, poor little me? How about this for a radical idea? Look in the mirror. Define your own role in all this. Take responsibility for the show you are running. On this channel, we are continuously addressing the reasons behind stress, struggle, suffering, and sunk businesses that are results of our own making. And today, we're talking about the modern-day holy gospel: numbers, KPIs, and productivity metrics. Welcome to your self-made hell.
Unbound Mind. Say hello to the metric obsession.
All right, let's just get one thing straight. You think your metrics are guiding you to the promised land of profit and efficiency. Not quite. Let me tell you a few bedtime stories. See if you can spot the common thread. Wells Fargo. Employees created millions of fake accounts. Why? To hit those aggressive sales targets. The result? A cool $3 billion fine and a screwed reputation. General Electric. So obsessed with juicing short-term earnings, they started cooking the books and forgot to innovate. Stock price from 60 to under 10. Oops. Then there is you. Yeah, you with Fitbit. Panicking because you missed your 10,000 steps. Congratulations. You've traded your sanity for a number on a wristwatch. That's not health. That's hypochondria. Panic attacks over missed step goals, because apparently 9,847 steps mean you're dying. 70% of professionals openly admit to gaming their metrics when money is on the line. Teachers teach to test and call it education. Healthcare providers prioritize billable procedures over actual patient care. Burnout rates in those industries over 50%. And social media? Just don't get me started. Social media junkies obsessing over likes see 25% more anxiety. You are not building a community, you are farming dopamine. If you haven't put a name to this monster yet, allow me to introduce you. Meet your new boss, the metric obsession. This isn't just bad management. It's a full-blown cognitive bias that turns smart people into metric-chasing zombies. Here is how it works. You create a number to track something important. Then that number becomes more important than the thing itself. Soon, everyone's gaming the system to hit the number while the actual goal burns to the ground. It's like judging a restaurant by how fast they serve food or how many tables they have. Managers love this shit because it's clean, simple. Point to a dashboard and boom, you hit the number. Or no, you didn't. No messy conversations about context or nuance or whether the work actually mattered. Two laws explain why this always goes sideways. First, GOODHART'S law: when numbers lie. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. The moment you turn a metric into a target, it stops telling you the truth. It becomes a performance, not reality. Take unemployment rates. Government says, we need this number lower. So they create programs that hide unemployment instead of solving it. Then there is Campbell's law: when people game the system. Campbell's law is about what happens when you attach consequences to numbers. It's about the social carnage. Police arrest quotas, officers nail anyone for anything to make their number. Public safety? Who gives a shit? The process is now officially broken. The process gets corrupted because humans are beautifully, predictably human. We'll find the path of least resistance to hit your precious number, even if it defeats the entire point. You wanted a measure? Well, you created a monster.
The game time.
Forget the corporate performance webinar. Let's get real. Count how many of these sound like you. Be honest. Lying to yourself won't help. So you choose a narrow focus on specific numbers like quarterly profits or daily steps, while ignoring broader context like employee morale, actual customer satisfaction, or overall health. You gamify or manipulate data to meet targets, such as inflating sales figures or skipping meals to hit calorie goals. You experience anxiety or demotivation when metrics aren't met. Missing a sales quota or workout equals existential crisis. You over-rely on dashboards or apps for validation, spending more time tracking your life than actually living it. You ignore anything that can't be measured. Creativity, joy, relationships, intuition. If it doesn't have a number attached, it doesn't matter. You compare yourself to others' achievements or external benchmarks. And here's a good one. Your self-worth has the price tag that directly tied to a metric. The number on the screen literally dictates whether you're a valuable human being today. You'll take the short-term win that looks good in the monthly report over the long-term play that actually builds something real. You can't enjoy wins because you're already obsessing over the next target. You are chronically exhausted. The constant pressure to perform manifests as burnout, anxiety, or a deep, humming fatigue that even coffee won't fix. You fetishized productivity. You are not a human being. You are a machine for achieving tasks. So, how many did you check? Now you know the enemy. And it's not the metric. It's your obsession with it.
When this shows up.
Now that you know you might be a metric junkie, let's see where this disease spreads. And it's everywhere.
Hitting the numbers culture.
Welcome to corporate hell, where hitting your quota matters more than literally everything else. Sales numbers, quarterly revenue, profit margins, these become the only things that count. This whole mess gets justified by a misattributed quote: if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Well, the guy they misquote, Edward Deming, actually called that notion a costly myth. He knew that human connections, creativity, and values can't be jammed into a spreadsheet. But this myth lets managers avoid the hard, messy work of actual leadership. They just point to a dashboard instead.
The rise of toxic achievers.
This culture breeds a special kind of monster, the toxic achiever. They hit every target. Their numbers are impeccable, but they're also a freaking nightmare who tortures team morale and shreds company values to hit their bonus. And companies let them get away with it because we can't afford to lose them. Look at their numbers. Well, actually, they are a net liability. They create a fear-based environment that drives out everyone with actual talent and integrity. You are rewarding a psychopath for burning down the village to roast your dinner.
Quarterly capitalism, aka short-termism.
Public companies are trapped in a hamster wheel of quarterly earnings reports. CEOs barely stick around long enough to learn everyone's names because their compensation is tied to short-term wins. So they strip mine the future to make this quarter look red safe. Research and development, that's an expense. Employee training, cost center. Long-term thinking, come on, luxury that we can't afford. These aren't expenses. These are investment in not going bankrupt in 5 years. But they don't show up on the next quarterly report, so they get axed. It's corporate suicide, 1 quarter at a time.
The great incentive misalignment.
Here is where it gets really fun. What companies say they want versus what they actually reward are 2 completely different things. What they say they value.
We want innovation, sustainable growth, and quality customer service.
What they reward.
Hit your quarterly sales quota by any means necessary.
So, rational people do exactly what you'd expect. They optimize for what gets rewarded, not what gets preached in companies' value meetings. Can't blame them. They're just playing the game you designed.
The productivity cult.
This one's personal. It's not just work anymore. It's your entire existence turned into a performance review. Your worth isn't measured by your character or relationships. It's measured by your output. Your completed tasks, your hacked morning routine, your optimized life. If it can't be measured, it doesn't matter. Your life becomes a game you are desperately trying to win. But it's a game with no finish line. Apps turn everything into points, streaks, and badges. Walk 10,000 steps. Meditate 5 days in a row. Achievement unlocked. Suddenly, you are not exercising for health or meditating for peace. You are chasing digital rewards like a lab rat pressing buttons for pellets. Oh, and not forgetting about hustle culture or exhaustion as a status symbol. Hard work became synonymous with long hours and constant activity. Success gets measured by how many projects you juggle and how big your social media following is.
The quantified self.
And here is the final frontier, you. You track your steps, your sleep, your heart rate, your calories. You believe data will reveal some objective truth about who you are. It won't. It just turns you into a project to be optimized. You are not a human being. You are a collection of dashboards waiting to be perfected. That's the obsession. It's in your pocket. It's on your wrist. It's in your head. And I wonder how it helps you get better off.
The hidden costs.
Metric obsession can lead to eating and obsessive-compulsive disorders, deflated self-esteem, and damaged self-worth, turning you into a walking disaster. But here, let's talk about less dramatic consequences.
When numbers bury businesses.
Metric-obsessed companies see 40% higher burnout rates. Shocking, right? Who could have predicted that constant pressure to hit arbitrary targets would stress people out? Besides, all that short-term number chasing creates economic instability. Companies got their R&D budgets, develop tunnel vision for whatever product hits quarterly targets, and lay people off to make the math work. Great approach, really sustainable. The whole system creates a massive blind spot. Everyone's so busy hitting their individual metrics, they can't see the bigger picture just crumbling around them. Departments become silos. each chasing their own stupid metric that don't align with anything meaningful. Sales optimizes for revenue, while customer service optimizes for call resolution time, and nobody's freaking optimizing for, actually helping customers.
The tyranny of objective numbers.
We worship a numbers false objectivity while ignoring real qualitative truth. A manager hires the candidate with the shiny GPA over the one with grit, creativity, and actual relevant experience. Why? Because the GPA is an easy number to point to. That GPA tells you nothing about whether someone can actually do the job, but it's quantified, so it wins.
The new normal.
Living under constant metric scrutiny creates a permanent state of performance anxiety. Every day is a test you might fail. You are not working anymore. You get stuck in reactive cycles, always responding to the latest metric instead of actually thinking strategically.
Where souls go to die.
Academics are drowning in publication metrics and international rankings. They are not teaching or researching anymore. They are feeding the numbers machine. Now they're optimizing for citations and journal impact factors instead of asking important questions.
Anxiety as a service.
Track everything to feel guilty about everything. Your fitness tracker judges you for not hitting X number of steps. Your budget app shames you for that purchase. Your productivity app reminds you that you wasted 37 minutes today, and that guru bollocks you for missing the 5 a.m. club. So every bad metric becomes evidence that you're failing at life.
The comparison trap.
Social media turned everyone into a walking inferiority complex. You are constantly measuring yourself against other people's highlight reels. Your metrics pale in comparison, so clearly you are inadequate. The anxiety, envy, and shame never end because there is always someone with better numbers.
The never enough hedonic treadmill.
Hit your goal. Great. Now, time for the baseline to move up. You need bigger numbers to feel the same satisfaction. It's an endless loop of short-term gratification high that never actually satisfies.
The death of joy.
The dark side of this is a profound erosion of intrinsic motivation. When everything becomes a number to track and optimize, you lose the joy of just doing things. Congratulations, you've optimized the soul right out of your existence.
Why we fall for it.
Let's get real about what's happening in your brain when you're obsessed over metrics. Your metric obsession is basically OCD for high achievers. You check your dashboard the same way someone with OCD checks if the door is locked, again and again and again. You believe, really, truly believe, that hitting that specific number will make everything okay. You get temporary relief when you hit the target. That little dopamine hit tells your brain, see, the ritual worked. Except the relief never lasts. Because the underlying anxiety, the thing you're really trying to fix, is still there. Then the metrics stop being goals and become mirrors. Your sales numbers aren't just performance indicators anymore. They are a direct measure of your worth as a human being. Bad quarter, you're worthless. Great month, and now you're valuable. Any fluctuation in the numbers becomes a personal attack on your identity. The more uncertain the world feels, the harder we cling to numbers. They feel like control in a chaotic world. Society won't shut up about volatility and uncertainty and complexity, so we grab onto metrics like life preservers, thinking they'll save us from drowning in ambiguity. Well, they won't. But they make us feel like we're doing something, like we're prepared, like we have a handle on things. Well, we don't. All of this stems from one simple thing: the desperate need to neutralize anxiety. You think if you just track enough, measure enough, optimize enough, you'll finally feel safe. You won't. Because the anxiety isn't really about the numbers. It's about the fundamental uncertainty of being human in an unpredictable world. And no amount of data will fix that.
Screw the narrative.
Metrics will feed you lines. This is the grand illusion that a number is inherently objective, pure, uncorrupted. What a beautiful, comforting fairy tale. The reality, metrics are a narrative, a story you choose to tell, and you are using them to avoid the terrifying work of actually thinking, leading, or living with ambiguity. Let's dismantle the top 3 excuses.
We just don't have enough data. If only we had more metrics, we could really manage things properly.
Bullshit. You're already drowning in data. You are just collecting more because it feels like action. It's busy work for anxious. You are measuring things that don't matter because you're terrified of the things that do. The unquantifiable stuff, like morale, confidence, or trust. This valueless data doesn't create clarity. It's just intellectual baggage. It wastes time and drags everyone down.
The market demands it. Investors need quarterly reports. It's just the way the world works.
The problem isn't frequency, it's the incentives. This isn't a rational market necessity, it's a rigged game. Top management's compensation is tied to that short-term pop. So they make the perfectly rational choice to gut the company's future for their own immediate payoff. They've rationalized myopia. They've made a cowardly, opportunistic bet and called it an investor reporting.
I am not obsessed with metrics.
This is the deepest one. You are not cold, calculating logician. You are a scared human using numbers as a security blanket. Those metrics serve a deep psychological purpose. They give you a hit of control. They quiet the noise of your own insecurities. You use them as a proxy for success, because actually feeling successful requires confidence you don't have. This is the ultimate illusion of rationality. You point to a number to justify a decision that was 100% driven by an emotional compulsion, fear, greed, anxiety. The number just makes it look respectable. It's a powerful rationalization for toxic, irrational behavior. Stop hiding behind those metrics. Admit you're scared. It's the first step to getting your life, business, and mind back.
The mirror test.
Let's be clear. There is no universal pill, no one-size-fits-all solution. You are responsible for the world you've built, and you are equally responsible for the choices you make next. If you want to change the game, you hold the power to do it. So it's time to appeal to your own inner resources. And actually, you have more of them than you care to recognize. So ask yourself, what unmeasured factors, like team spirit, creative spark, or simple joy, am I overlooking by focusing on these metrics. How might my decisions change if I balance numbers with qualitative insights, like team culture or personal enjoyment? Look back. When has my past obsession with a number backfired? What's the pattern I've been refusing to see? If metrics weren't the primary driver, what would success look like for me? How do my emotions around metrics influence my actions? Who would I be without that pressure?
Unbound mind.
The evidence is overwhelming. The solution to metric obsession isn't a better tracking tool. It's a philosophical revolt. For you personally, it means a conscious rebellion, choosing to measure what truly matters. Define your success by internal benchmarks, fulfillment, meaning, growth, not by external validation. Reject the tyranny of the quantified self. For your business, it means demoting metrics from commander to compass. They are a tool, not a crutch. This demands a new balance, weighing quantitative data against qualitative insight, short-term activity against long-term strategy, and numerical targets against ethical clarity and human well-being. The goal isn't to destroy the ruler. It's to remember that it can't measure what matters most: the real work, the creative, the human, the meaningful begins where the numbers end.